Hey everyone, welcome back to the second video in our Kotlin Generics tutorial series. In this video, we are diving deeper into generics function with default value. So I hope you must have watched my first video where I have explained generics, how generics are helping us to implement the concept of reusability and how the generics are making our code more maintainable. So I have explained in the first video like generic classes and generics function. This time I'll walk you through some practical examples to make everything super clear regarding generic function with default value. Yes, we will learn generic function that return the default values. If you haven't watched the first video, I will provide the link of that video in the description box. You can check from there and you can learn about the generics from the first video. Stay with me till the end so you don't miss any key details, and if you are enjoying the content, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Plus hit that bell icon so you never miss out any of our upcoming Kotlin tutorials and practical coding videos. So let's jump right in. Kotlin allows you to specify default values for functions parameter. Yes, this function is available in Kotlin and this is not available even in Java or in C#. So in Kotlin, but we have the concept of default values with parameters. So including those in generic function, can be useful when you want to provide a default behavior while still allowing flexibility. So like if a function does not have like a parameter, we are not passing a value, in that case we can define a default value for that. That's a functionality available in Kotlin. So we will use that feature with generics. Let me share you one example or one use case of this. Like consider a scenario where you want to fetch a value from a database or return a default value. Like, let me clear this example more even. You just wrote a SQL query to get the data from the database. So if you are getting the records from the database, that is fine, but sometimes we are not getting any record for the query in the database. In that case we are getting null as a result set, but we do not want that null to appear. We want some value to be returned by that function. So in that case we can define the default value to be returned. So using generics, you can handle this scenario for any type of data. Yes, if any, because generics are there that can handle any kind of data. So we will use a generic function that will return a default value if the value is not available. So let me show you one example, practical example of that. So let's dive for that. So let's create a function. So let's open the IntelliJ IDE and create a class here, generic function with default value or any name. In the previous video I have told explained you generics and generics function. So that will be available in the as a link in the description box. You can check from there. Now just create function, then define the type of that. So type is what? Generics, because the function should accept any kind of value. Function name, get default or get value. The function name should be get value or default. So function will return default if the value is not available. So but we have to define a type here, like it's a value. I just gave a variable name and that type is t. This is the value that we will this parameter will take, and if this value is not available, we will return a default value. Default value that will be again of type t, and the return type of this function is here, and return value if value is not available. In that case return default value. So let me explain this function with you again. This function keyword is used to create a function in Kotlin. Then t is defined, we have defined the type, so its type is generic. The function name get value or default. Then we have got this value parameter, and if that value will not be available, in that case the default value will be returned, and here we have defined the return type of that. So now come function again to create a main function. Main function is the entry point of your program that you always have, and click this, call this println. So get default, call the function get, function name is get value or default. So here I am passing 10, and in default I have writing default value, like this is the value I want to return from this function. So function will return 10 because we have provided the value, and if this 10 will not be available, if any case, then this default value will be returned. So like I can pass here a string, like I pass here Aryan, yes. So this time around this Aryan will be returned because we are passing the value. But come to the next. Println, and again call this function get value or default, and now I am passing null, means the value is not available, and in that case again default value. So what should happen ideally? Actually, let me explain this code again with you. Function is a keyword that we use to create a function. Then we have defined this type, generic type, is a function name, the parameter that we will pass, and the default value that we want to return if this value is not available. And here it is a return type, that is the type of generics, means this function can take any kind of value that we want to pass. So then we have created the main function, and we are calling this get value or default function with this 10. So this time around 10 will be returned, and this time around this Aryan will be returned. But here this time, actually this is the place for which we have created this video. So the value is not available. In that case, this default value will be returned, and the function being used is the same every time. This time it is with numeric value, this time it is with string value, and here this time with the null value. Same function. We are not creating separate functions, and that is the problem generics are solving for us. So let me run it. Yeah, so here we have got the output 10 Aryan and the default value, default because null has been given here. So this is what we can achieve with the default parameters using generics. So I hope you must have enjoyed the video, you must have learned something new from this video, and if you have enjoyed the video, then I request you to like, share and subscribe the channel, so that you can get the new other videos that I will be making for you. And if you want video on a particular concept like coroutines, flows, or any other topic in Kotlin, so you can write it to me in comment box, and I will explain those concepts also practically. So yeah, till then, happy coding, enjoy your day. Thank you so much for watching the video. Bye bye.